to go when you are.
I click the button.
Good to go. Yeah, there's a little delay here on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Hello
There we go.
everybody. This is Peter Palmiotti of Making Comics and Art. This is episode 289. Getting up there.
289. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I got Rex with us today.
You've been doing this.
Yeah, it's like I used to just do a whole bunch of different things and have a whole bunch of different videos going. And I decided just to make it into an ongoing series to give it a little more focus.
That's great.
Yeah. Streaming like crazy.
Yeah, we're madmen for wanting to do it, aren't we?
Yeah.
I just did my 406th video. I like to count them every now and then. Been doing my channel content for a little over 9 months, or I'm not sure. They just tell you 9 months till it changes to 10. So, yeah, I've been putting content up about 9 months, a little bit over maybe. Had my account started in October, but didn't put any content up till January. I think it was January. I co-host with Apex Comics, and that's where you and I met, interviewing you. And he challenged me. Well, Rex, I want you to have 2 videos up by next week. And I said, okay. And I had 6 up. And then it was off to the races after that, Peter. Now you can't stop me. It's like stream madness.
Do you stream every day? I always see you streaming.
I stream every day, and I've been doing twice a day since my job is seasonal. Since it's went out, of course, the last week I've had this cold and been dealing with this cold. So for the last 4 days, so that hasn't been fun. But I stream every day. I call it the 4 o'clock shadow, and rub my chin because we get a shadow. Men do grow beards. And I just, it came to me one day and I said, okay, I'm going to make an announcement. I'll start it tomorrow. And I started, yeah, that's me. I was first in. Ha! See, if you're first in, you get on the show.
That's right.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. I forget if I put your links down below, but if I haven't, I'll do it after the show. But
okay.
Yeah. Follow Rex on Twitter, on YouTube, and I'll get all your links.
Instagram, yeah, they can follow me over there. Facebook, whatever. I'm just about everywhere. I do have a rent, so I'll just drop the link to my channel.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I want to.
I
could chat here.
Okay.
We got Doc in
Doc
the chat.
Blaylock.
Welcome, Doc. Yeah, we got the Shadowhawk. Welcome.
All right.
We got Hiawatha.
Hey, Hiawatha. Stop sharing that.
Andy A. I don't think I've seen Andy in my chat previously.
He's been over there at Vic's. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a tattoo artist, and man, he's got a collection.
Oh,
cool. And Jason Bascom from Unhinged Entertainment. Hey.
Yeah, Jason. He's awesome.
Yeah, I think they're going to be on either Saturday or Sunday this week with me, talking about Frog G and something going on where I can't access Frog G on I noticed his colorist ink spot said something about it, and I tried to pull that up and show their project the day before, and it wouldn't let me. Of course, I went on to the next thing, didn't think that much about it. And then he posted that, and then I did a search, and I can't find them on Indiegogo. The only way to access their campaign is through a direct link. So I really don't know what's going on there with their campaign.
Oh, is that what they call shadow banning or something? When
Could be.
Indiegogo plays tricks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We got
Of course,
Tree
I have
Goblin.
a little.
Welcome, Tree
I have
Goblin.
a little bit of. Hey, Tree Goblin. Yeah, he's been over there on my channel almost since the beginning. Started out showing a bunch of my collectibles. I have a lot of production art, some of which has been given to me from my good friend. And in fact, he's on his way to see me and will be here in about 2.5 hours. So he's going to help me sell off some of my collection this weekend, hopefully, and bring me some items that were sent to him over in the mail, and have a good visit. Yeah, this is my campaign up there. I'll just show the video. It's only 30 seconds. I know we only have an hour, Peter, so I want to respect your time.
Yeah.
Well, that was the 30-second trailer. I was able to get Pedro Ang, as he goes by on YouTube, to he's done a lot of trailers. He did the film bat trailer for Apex Comics for many people in the CG community. And hey, Fanta,
he's a busy guy.
Bunch of people in the chat I recognize. Busy guy, yeah. And you're busy too. I see you're inking the BEOWAR cover. I think that's a cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he should be finishing up the pencils and have that on the double the wraparound cover that you've so graciously are going to do for me. We're cognizant that you're going off probably for the holidays and things for a couple of months down Florida, visit family. So we're trying to get everything to you quick.
Vic sent me a message that he'll have it to me next week, which will be plenty of time. So
okay, we're talking about Vic King. He just funded BEOWAR, sort of a Conan style magazine. Of course, he's done a lot of work for Momentum Concepts, or Momentum Comics, as I like to call myself. Helped me develop a lot of characters. I have a few in my wheelhouse, and I've actually created some that will be in the first book even. But now some of my characters, like this is artwork that thankfully didn't burn up my fire, because I did have some. This is done by John Fernandez. That was the artist you saw in the trailer that did the Devil Flyer story. He did 29-page Devil Flyer. This piece here was going to be one of those character sheets where the text would be right here.
Right.
And he did this in 1993. This was about all the visual reference. I and Vic kind of redid this portion here, this chess piece. But other than that, he's remained about the same. And this is Sea Demon, as done by John back in 1993. And I used that in an Alterna ad in their winter campaign. I put out 7 ads and 5 of their books. And so This is an example of John's work. This is just
Oh, we got more.
this is like a copy from one of the pages. This will be like the last story page that you get in the ASHCAN.
Yeah.
Kind of leaves on a. It's not a complete story in the ASHCAN. You just kind of get a taste, and then there'll be a supplement with all Vic King artwork and John's cover. Of course, I draw too. Till recently, till the last few years, I've considered myself an artist. This will be in the ASHCAN, a piece for me. My bog creature, that Doc Blaylock, who's out in the chat, I did. So this piece I did, a bog, will be
cool.
in there. And then he graciously did me a trading card.
Oh, nice.
Of that, actually acrylic painting on Bristol. He's a painter by trade, but he's been working in sequential art. He's got a project that's in mail up right now called Pariah Blood and Mud, and we got to talking. I was giving Vic some work, and he said, "Well, what about my commission?" So I created a character, and he did me a artwork for a trading card, and this is the Nubian. She's a new character that I created this year, done by Doc, and that got us started talking about. Well, I need some people still on the book to finish up the book, the main book that I was shooting for 48 pages, and it's three horror titles, and one of them's Grave Tales. And this is Doc Blaylock. This is a character that he's going to be the only reoccurring character in the book, called the Bystander. He's kind of like the Watcher in my universe, like Marvel's The Watcher. I'm sure you're familiar with him, Peter.
Oh yeah.
Or the
I like the lady on the on the pile of dirt.
Here you can see him doing his Cosmic Mojo. This will be partially colored. It's going to be, the color is going to help tell the story. When I have it colored, I can't wait till, I told Doc, and I still stand by it, this is the story to beat in the book. It really sets the tone and beat for what I'm looking for. He knocked it out of the park on the artwork. In fact, recently he told me that since I've been showing these pages, he's had 3 people ask him to do work. Of course, he's working on his own project, Pariah Blood and Mud, and I haven't asked him, but I'd like him to do another Grave Tales for me when he gets Pariah Blood and Mud. But that's up to him. I'm just dropping it. If he's still out in the chat, I'm dropping that on him right now because he's too good a friend and too good to let go. I'd like him to do another story because I think we gel really good. The antagonist is a killer clown, psychotic clown, in the story that preys on little children. Kind of the backstory that I and Doc kind of came up with, the concept, really Doc came up with it, was that he did away with the good clown and kind of took over his makeup and stuff and started preying on little kids. And this, not good. In the opening pages there, it's a little darker than what I really thought I was going to go with the book. I was on Don Chin's show back in, I guess it was October last year, and also on Billy Tucci's and Niles' show, Pop XP. And I said it was for all ages back then, but I think I'm going to have to change that, Peter. Like here's his latest victim, and he always visits his latest victim on the first page there. You saw him hiding behind the tree. And then here's he's doing his Cosmic Mojo, and you don't know what that's all about. Right there he is, skulking behind the tree. And I'll just show you a bit more, and
sure.
I'll show you all of them, man. Doc made my job. I'm proud of what he's done. I'm very proud of what he's done.
It's
You
looking
know,
good.
when he turns out work like this, and this is kind of like, hey, now Hockey did a 2-page story for me digitally. I saw him on Twitter, and he had done Shelby Roberts, and I think Shelby Roberts is going to do 1 or 2 trading cards for me. I don't know. Of course, he worked for
Okay.
Image. Worked for Rob
Yeah.
Liefeld. So it's great,
Yeah.
like
Stream
meeting
Studios.
you, Peter, meeting Shelby,
Yeah.
meeting people like Jason Bascom, who's that does Unhinged, who has a great uh, uh, project out called Frog G right now, and
Right.
just a wonderful guy. I met him through Dan Fraga, seeing him on Dan Fraga. I'm on Tuesdays with he and Luke, either on Luke's channel or Jason's channel on Tuesdays. On Fridays through them. I kind of knew of Red Valkyrie and started going on Red Valkyrie is on Friday. And then when Apex started going live, his first live stream, I was just in the chat of another one. And when that one shut down, he says, I'm going to stream live. And that was the beginning of me
Right.
co-hosting with him. So if you're available, there's no telling what you'll bump in around here. He's kind of the scuzzy looking guy. That look at that, gave him arm hair, back hair. Yeah, he
Yeah.
tried to make him grody as possible. Not a very likable guy, not a very happy guy.
That's what the
I
kids
wrote
like.
I wrote a few notes and mailed Doc little thumbnails. I like to thumbnail it all out, and then
Right.
uh, that way we have with Devil Flyer with John. I worked a little differently. I tried the Stan Lee method. That don't work. I don't see how they did it, Peter. I mean, if their mouths aren't open, I can't put dialogue in them.
Yeah, it if you don't have the details of what's going on,
Yeah.
it's a little confusing for artists. Some
I
artists.
mean, look at him crawling up out there. Come on.
There you go.
That's
Nice.
better than what the big two's coming out with right now, Peter. Or just as good, I mean, I
Yeah.
really, really like the tone of the thing that, with this story. I really like this. Of course, he's my most developed character. Actually, I thought Bog up the same month my father passed away, which will be in February. This February coming up will be 7 years. So he's almost 7 years old as a character. And then I waited a couple months and I said, I really want to do a comic book. What do I want to focus on first? Gave it some thought and said, I like this new character, Bog. And I really didn't have a name for him. His name's Bog because I hadn't thought up a better name. I guess I need to ask the chat, but I've had logos and stuff. I guess it's called Bog with 2 G's. Look at that. He's taking it to the clown.
Yep.
Once this is colored, it's going to knock people's socks off. Vic King had
I like
a good
that. I
idea.
like that where he's coming out of the shadow. That's a cool shot.
Oh, here? Yeah.
That's a great shot.
Hey, that'd be a great square magnet or pin, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Just take that panel and make it into a pin or
name
a
on
magnet.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe cool.
Up and down right here in that dark space.
Yeah.
BOGG wouldn't be very long. That's a good thing about it. Not a very big name. It's not like Momentum that's this long. Doc says, you're going to show every page, aren't you? Well, I might not show the last page. But look at that. He spent over 2 months. He actually fell asleep one night at the art desk, maybe more than one night doing this. He said he treated every panel as a work, as or every panel was as best as he could do it, as a work of art.
Right.
And it tells. Yeah. I think he got it just right, and it sets he knew what I was going for. Sort of that old Charlton or or DC or Marvel vibe. Okay, we're down to the last page, but
Okay.
yeah, I've got enough to do a supplement with my book of just all this. Here is artwork. Here's the cover he did, that John did, watercolor. I kind of rushed him on it. Was thinking that we would actually launch the book, the full book, in March of this year. That didn't happen. I was kind of on a unrealistic timetable, really. But all this is, you can, this is actually, I'll cover up this top part because that's kind of a spoiler, but this is a trading card that everybody will be getting. I don't know if you can see that too well, kind of kneeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had him do. And then here's, this just on thin tracing paper. There's that cover I showed you. So I have a whole lot of things like that, a whole file here of things that I can put a making of Devil Flyer, and then some concept artwork in the back here, and some layouts of pages, just interesting stuff. Like here's one page from the book where he's waking up and breaking his chains, because on the splash page he's already bound up in chains and sinking in water on the splash page, and this is where he kind of comes awake and underwater, and and it may be changed from this. This is just an early draft. Had to buy my book, to find out what happens to Devil Flyer. That's 29-page story. I have a 2-page story of a character that's really the introduction to a character, Inner Man. There's a Sea Demon story. I don't know how long that's going to be. Vic King's going to do that. There's another story called Crawl Space. That's a 2-page story that Hockey down Australia did for me digitally, as I said. I just have to get him some text, and he has to put a border in, and he's finished with it. He was really the first artist to finish the 2-page artwork and for me. And cool. Vic's also going to be doing a horror story called Second Skin, and we've developed some new characters for that story. And that's developing new characters with Vic. It's kind of helped me tell the story, because I was going to do like a werewolf story. I already had a werewolf story written out, and I changed that over time by developing new characters. Here's that Nubian. I don't do women that good, but that was the reference that Doc went for the Nubian. I've done it old school. Just a little coloring on copies for a color scheme. His costume colors and powers and stuff will change from issue to issue. But we're going to start out, and really, this is, I told you about the splash page where you get you right into the action. Here's, but it's more than just Devil Flyer.
I really like Devil Flyer's design. It's a cool
here's
design.
Bog, spelled with 2 G's.
There you go.
So kind of went with that John did back in 2019. It's interesting to see your characters drawn by different people. His Bog is much different than, say, Doc Blaylock's Bog, much different, but nevertheless, still the same character. Of course, I'm going to draw him a little different too. But he's my most developed character.
I want to just burn his cake watching this.
Uh-oh.
Because he's trying to keep track of all this stuff.
My condolences. My condolences.
I'm sure the cake is fine.
What was it? Tragic Meatloaf. They were trying to guess TM. Tragic Meatloaf. This is Yeah, they were trying to guess my TM's character, and Eric and Boyd guessed the name. It was a kind of a placeholder. It was a total mystery, and he guessed it. So he'll be getting the total package. And then I said, well, we need to have a mystery pack contest. So, and Lorenzo won that. So he won a mystery prize. So I'll have to come up with something with him. This is on the campaign. This is the ASHCAN cover. He was going to have this as a main cover, and I said, "This, I just don't think that this is a good crowdfunding. You're not really even showing the character." So then he did that watercolor cover. Of course, you're going to be inking Vic King's version of that. Here is
the wraparound.
Really, I had 3-page spoilers. This is kind of how I do thumbnails.
Yeah.
Just very simple. I have different iterations of Bog. I know we're showing a lot of Bog today, but I've done several versions of this character. He is my most developed character. I really like this one here. Oh, there's that artwork. Here's the character Vic will be doing next time. Gilo. Put that one aside. I needed to find that, Peter. Thank you. Oh, here's a couple others. Here's a couple others. Here's a couple others. This will be the next character that Vic is doing.
Cool.
Sort of a Gila monster. Here's another Bog I did. Bog piece. I've not shown these, I don't think. That one I kind of put a Roman girdle around his waist there. Here's like the thumbnails. This is the actual thumbnails to like page 1 through 8, the first 8 pages. Just very simple thumbnails. Very simple thumbnails. And some dialogue and direction.
Panther says wraparound cover is going to be epic.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what you and Vic do with that. I did do some trading card artwork and stuff to start out with. I always considered myself an artist till I started working with Vic, and I probably in my wheelhouse. I probably need to, develop the characters and their weapons and different things like that, and then I'll let him kind of develop things, doing model sheets and stuff. There's the pencils too. The splash page where he's sinking. And then we go into that the one that you used for the thumbnail today, the double page spread.
Right.
It just says earlier that day or whatever, and then it has a little quote by Thomas Paine, one of the founders of the nation. These are the times that try men sows. So. And that really told the story of Devil Flyer, and then kind of got it off to a good beat of where I wanted to go from. And it's all kind of developed from there, Peter. You can de-biggin me now.
Well, let me catch up with the chat a little bit.
Not that I'm not pretty to look at. He's good.
Hiawatha was saying, "Hail Shadow, hope you're feeling better." And
he needs to be saying that to me. What the heck? I'm the one with the code. No, I know.
I'm sure they all wish you better.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
This is feeling a little better.
I'm just lucky they can't co-op my job.
Yeah,
they probably would have shut me down a long time ago.
Are dropping links. So we got the BEOWAR link. Shadowhawk confirmed, by the way, that what's happening with Frog G was in fact a shadow ban. So
not something by Indiegogo. Not something by Indiegogo, but someone else had done to the campaign. Is that your understanding of that?
Well, I mean, I don't know who did it, but it's called shadow ban when somebody can only get to a campaign via a direct link. I'm guessing it's Indiegogo, because who else would have control over that? But I don't know. I'm no tech guy.
I just wonder what you do about that, because they're kind of the people in charge.
Well, you can bitch to them. I don't know. You can get all your friends to bitch to them.
Because if they don't show your campaign except via direct link, it kind of really limits you, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they have thousands of campaigns going right now. So I don't know. Like they can't share everything all at once. But there's a link for BEOWAR.
Well, I hope that resolves itself very quickly. It is a good campaign. I plan on backing it just as soon as I can.
Your ASHCAN link.
Thank you.
They're sharing out my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter.
Then I don't know if I shared the link to my YouTube, but I can certainly do that before we leave. Most people in the chat now, but you get a lot of rewatches. You play to a new crowd, I know.
Yeah. And Fanta says, smash that like button, even if you lurkers.
Absolutely.
And here's your link for your Twitter.
Okay, great. Thank you, Fanta.
Yeah.
Fanta kind of co-hosts with me at nighttime on my coffee breaks, streams that I've been doing of late.
Yeah. That's right.
She's a great co-host. Right. And Shadowhawk does the 4 o'clock shadow with me. So that's a little synchronicity for you. Shadow and Shadow. Maybe we should change the name of my show to Double Shadow. The Double Shadow Show.
There you go. Donut. I gave Donut a wrench the other day. So
ooh, dangerous.
If you wanted
pink icing with sprinkles, that's very dangerous.
Drop some links.
Oh, Donut's wonderful. Yeah. She always says hello. I think she stutters, Peter.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
You're beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, but what do I compare thee to? A summer night's dream? I mean, thou art beautiful. Peter hasn't shown himself on camera yet, so there's no comparison. I'm the only one here now. They only hear your voice. I've kind of got the stage right now, Peter. But now, if you ever saw Peter, I wouldn't have a chance. I'd have to put
videos with my face.
I'd have to put my icon up. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a big collection of different stuff, and I just started my channel showing my collectibles and sharing my collection with people. I think I looked the other night. In about 9 months of streaming, I did 4 months just going directly through YouTube with people coming in the chat like Tree Goblin and Trusty Sidekick and Fanta and others. Shadowhawk, and just showing collectibles. Shadowhawk would be driving home from work and listening to me. Really couldn't watch me show the collection, but he had an hour-long commute lives up there around Chicago, and was always a staple in my show every day. And would get in and participate in the chat when he actually got home, but he would listen all the way home. So I was, very honored that people would be out and about doing other things and listening to me just show my collectibles. Even when they couldn't see the collectibles, they were listening. I did try and inform people about different artists and inkers and things like that, things that I've picked up over the years. And so I've started doing the 4 o'clock shadow. And even when I started doing the 4 o'clock shadow show, like I say, for the first 4 months, I was just on going through YouTube. And if you don't go through StreamYard, you really can't have other people on. But since I've let people on in the last 5 weeks, really my channels blew up, And I think there's some other things I can do, shorter videos. All my streaming has been live streaming. I'm not like you, Peter. I don't download short videos. I know it helps the algorithm. I just go live and stream when I can. And but I do think consistency and like this show, you're always consistent on when this show is, and you have a regular time, and I think that helps.
Yeah. Shadowhawk says, I believe only Indigo can do that to you, meaning Shadow Ben. And then Francis says somebody flagged the campaign. I hate when the chat jumps around. Okay, so
but that means there's I can't imagine being Ethan, I can't imagine being
I wonder
Ethan
if
Skyver with his chat
flagged by someone salty. I imagine maybe that's what's happening. Like somebody flags a campaign, then Indiegogo is less likely to share it around. I don't know.
Well, you can imagine
it's a new
if you put retro up there, one of your things you're working on, retro, and they did that to your, I'm looking for it, I'm doing searches for it on Indiegogo, and I know about it already, but I can't find it unless I have a direct link. That would be very disconcerting, because every day you're off of there, you're not making the money you would, if you're making any at all.
I mean, if you know me, then you can easily track down the link. But if you don't know me or my work, or and
of course you want to get it out to the widest audience as possible. You want to capture the attention of those people that don't know you and don't show up every day. So hopefully they'll come over to your channel and, buy your book and like your book and buy another book, second book that comes out, your next project. That's the way it kind of works, huh?
Some docs here. Asking about the Pharaoh link. I don't know.
The Pariah link. He's doing Pariah Blood and Mud. His characters, much like Bog, it's kind of a Gollum type character. I was very humbled. I heard him say after doing Grave Tales that he was going to have to go revisit some of his own art pages on his own art project, because he thinks he kind of leveled up in those 2 months. I wouldn't doubt it. He really brought his A game, and I really appreciate that. And I hope he can do a second Grave Tales story for me in the future. I try and give people a lot of time to work on stuff. Don't give them a lot of time limits. I think they can do their best work that way. Hey, Amanda B. dropping that link. Sign up. It's sign up now. When can we expect retro to be up and sign up?
I was thinking I could set that up now. Maybe I'll set it up over the weekend
before you leave, and then You want that set up for about 6 months. You kind of have to renew it before it hits the 6-month mark, or you'll lose all those emails. And you don't want to do that, because it's all about the emails, they say. That way, people, if you have their email, you can send them updates to whatever you're doing. And of course, they can cancel at any time, but they say that having everybody's email is kind of key to crowdfunding and getting updates out to people.
It's my cat was calling me from outside, so I'm running around my apartment at the moment.
I understand. I have Abigail, as most people know. I have a dog. I made sure I let her out before I came on with you, so that she wouldn't be begging me to come out in the hour that we had. We have about 20 minutes
my cat
left.
talks to me to let me in.
Yeah, they are. They can be
now,
demanding. We have about 20 minutes left. What would you like to talk about, Peter? This is your show, and I want to make the host feel good.
Yeah. Is
Writing,
there anything
art
on that video? Or is there anything on that video that you want me to show off? Did we cover everything?
Yeah, I'm enjoying my time with you so much. Yes, let me share this with you. Thank you for reminding me. This has been, I can show some of Vic King's artwork, what we've been working on since February.
Okay.
As soon as you bring it up there, mailing list sign up has been extended on Indiegogo. Okay. I guess for Pariah Blood Month.
Yeah,
so
I think the mailing list is indefinite. So like infinity.
okay. Okay. So you no longer, that's great. I like that. Anytime they improve.
That's what I heard.
This is the psychotic clown that we saw in Doc's Grave Tales that he drew. And this will be on the inside back cover of the supplement.
Cool.
And so let me advance this forward. That's a very kind of creepy image. This is another character,
Man.
Cortex. He's sort of a disembodied brain in an android body.
Nice.
Vic really had, and everybody really likes this character because he's different. You know, I don't try and just do my version of Wolverine or Superman or the Incredible Hulk. I try and be original and come up with things. Now, I try and use those as inspiration for my characters. Cortex is an older character, but he's not that old. I'd say about 7 years old. I'm not sure. Now, here are two newly developed characters. This is Silver Boa, but the Silver Boa, I have two Silver Boas. I came up with the costume for Silver Boa, the modern day version, and then we extrapolated and did like a 30s version of Silver Boa. And this is a new character as well, Lady of the Night. And these, all my stories in the book are going to be set slightly in the past, and these characters will be through a story device I'm using. They will come and fight in the future, in the present time, at the climax to my overarching six issue arc. Actually, more than 6 issues. 6 issues. Excuse me. 6 issues of Devil Flyer. Anyway, this is the modern day Lady of the Night. She really is sort of an exhibitionist and a pole dancer as her day job. This started out as a character, just a female drawing that he started, and I said, why don't we just make this into a character, you know, a modern day Lady of the Night, because I had a modern day Silver Boa and a retro Silver Boa. Now, this is another single shot of Lady of the Night, and I based her look on Ava Gardner, who I just think's gorgeous actress of the 40s, 50s, on up into the 60s, I suppose. Did some
Love
work.
that dress.
Yeah, Starfield type dress. Made her look like a starlet. This is a new character. Now, this character is going to make it into the book, and we'll have interaction with the bystander. This is going to be in the second skin story that Vic's drawing for me. These are developmental drawings, but these are first time drawings that Vic's drawn of my characters. And I kind of tell him what I want, and we come up with it, or I show him a drawing. Some drawings are more complete than others. This is Slaver. He's kind of a he preys on the living, but he winds up being changed and sort of branded. You see the 666 on his chest there. His nature's going to change, and he'll only prey on the undead. So he's kind of like a predator, predator on the unliving, on zombies and things. He'll take out a zombie now instead of a living person. So he's kind of the cleanup crew when it comes to the undead. He'll attack anything that's undead for food. He kind of hooks them with that long tongue and everything. The tongue's got barbs on it. I wanted to do a character that was, frankly, badass. I wanted to show people that it wasn't all capes and tights, and I wanted to show that I could be edgy with my characters if I wanted to be. This is another one, and I'm going to have this colored here pretty soon, if we can get the colorist to agree to color it and work in a time schedule for her to color it. Bar Musco's. They're the color team that did the colors to BEOWAR's cover. This is Storm Rider. I think Margot, that's in the chat, that's over there in Scotland, she came up with the name. I know she came up with one, Grimstalker. I think Pale Rider might have came up with Storm Rider's name, but after we sort of developed the character, I had a look at the character, didn't really have even powers, and we got to talking about it. Lightning powers. He's kind of like Ghost Rider, except he has lightning powers instead of fire. So I can't wait till that gets colored. This is going to be an Alterna ad in one of the Alterna books in their next winter campaign.
Cool.
I'm trying to release these, like I did for the ASHCAN. I'm trying to release these ads in Alterna. I can't say that I've had a lot of big response, but it does give my characters exposure, and I just think for the price point, it's a win-win situation. When you can buy a full-page interior ad for $25, or an inside back or front cover for $75, or a back cover for $100, that's an awesome deal, in advertising.
Yeah, that's a great price.
And it also gets you on their website. People get the books from the campaign about the time my book is launching. Plus, it gets into some comic book stores. Anybody that, and that's what we want to do. We want to expand the base, and kind of like the modern day spinner rack. You have to go to a comic book store. So this is the bystander, my cosmic watcher type character. And I had him do the obligatory werewolf. Yeah, I can blow that up. That head shot is inspired by the old EC cover where you have the beheaded woman with the guy who cut her head off with the hatchet.
Yeah.
So here's brunch that he's just finished on, and there's lunch, I guess. He looks like a happy werewolf, knowing that people in CG like werewolves. I have a werewolf, and all these that you're seeing, Peter, will be in the supplement and they'll be getting that with the ASHCAN. Plus, they'll be getting 2 trading cards, both exclusive to the campaign. And that'll be the beginning. This is the antithesis. Now, this is a poor scan. He's going to do away with that digital cloudiness, and then he didn't get the edge there. So this is an early scan. But it's kind of negative space where the stars are dark and the constellations are dark, and the space is white. Kind of conveys that he's the opposite, the antithesis of the bystander. He's called the passenger. And this is the very first, okay, wait a minute. Didn't know if that was the last one. I could really see his influence by Walt Simonson with all the inking, the crackle, the energy. I went on, I was on panel with him a time or two, Vic, and then I went over to his channel. I had subbed, and I saw that he was streaming. Lord knows I didn't know what I was getting into, that he streams all the time, Peter. And I started calling him a beast from the very beginning. You're a beast. You're a streaming beast or a drawing beast. And I bought an art piece, one of the early promo pieces on the BEOWAR campaign, a piece that actually made it into his trailer. And I own that piece. I've bought, and then I recently bought a BEOWAR art piece from the campaign, not off the campaign, but from him.
Very cool.
Piece that I liked. And I said, could you do me a Devil Flyer trading card artwork and make it look badass? And he said, absolutely. So he did this piece, and in the same time, the same night, he did me an Inner Man and a Sea Demon.
Nice.
So he did 3 pieces, and then he did this piece. I think this was the 4th piece. This is the, I think this is the last piece. Let me see. Nope, not the last piece. Wow, we're getting there though. We're running out of time. I'm cognizant of the time, Peter. This is the modern day silver boa, and his ancestor is the retro silver boa with the flared boots and everything, but they have the same 1911 gun and that they use. His cable that comes out of his belt there and wraps around his waist is a kind of an improvement on the little grappling type thing that retro silver boa does. And I said, can we, as he's drawing this, and I'm like, oh, this is great. This will probably be our next project that we work on if we don't work on a little floppy in between. It's going to be a black and white comic dealing with silver boa and both silver boas, the modern and the retro, and with Lady of the Night, and Slaver will be in there. I'll start consolidating all these characters into the same books because it is a connective universe of characters. It's been fun to try and find Waldo, make the connections. And I said, could we put him on a gargoyle?
I want he won the pencil for the cover I'm making. That's awesome.
Awesome. He did. Yes. Yeah. Shep did. And this is a new character. This is the last piece I have to show. That's the retro silver boa. So you can see his mask is a little different. His gloves are a little different. Still has the flare kind of 30s riding pants, sort of the Flash Gordon pants. And the boots are a little different. Yeah. But the weapons are pretty much the same revolvers. And this is a new character. He's fighting an assassin from the Yakuza called Sweet Baby. Of course, in the comic, she will be called by her Japanese name, which is quite beautiful in the Japanese, but it still makes still means the same thing. And through creating these characters, I've kind of linked it up with Devil Flyer. Oh, there's the pretty cat. Beautiful.
Yeah, this is Rocket.
Rocket. Okay.
Silly boy.
Well, yeah, named after the famous Indiegogo magazine that's still in demand, I noticed. And number 2's
That,
out right now on Indiegogo, Rocket Magazine, which I think's a great
yeah,
concept, Peter, where it features on CG artists, people like Art T. Bear in the first issue and Cyberfrog, Ethan's, and even has fan art in it. I think it's great that people uh, uh, are doing magazine size things like BEOWAR is going to be magazine size.
yeah,
Fanta says,
yeah.
Kitty. I don't know if she says it like that, but she says Kitty. Oh, look at that.
I'm sure she says it just like that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But yeah, we need a a new magazine to fill the void that Wizard left. I loved Wizard magazine back in the day, even though it was catering to like Image and very certain artists and whatnot. It was still always fun.
And he got a little price guide with it too. Most of us
You get a price
grew up reading
guide.
Marvel. And did you ever read any Charlton? I rarely read any Charlton because the quality was so bad.
I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't think I have. I saw a bunch of issues and whatnot,
but you're like me, Peter. You're old enough to remember the spinner rack at your local pharmacy or drugstore or grocery store. Those were exciting times, Peter.
How
do we get that back? How do we recapture that? Some have suggested offering comics for like $1 at the dollar store. Get some of these comics maybe polybagged and offer a bundle or something at the dollar store. Get a contract with them. I know Alliance tried Kelsey Shannon and Red Rooster Project and the Bass Project, and then Nora Saga was all in Walmart, which made a lot of people mad because they put it in Walmart before they fulfilled the backers on Indiegogo. I don't think that was a good move. And of course, the president in Alliance, they're in Arkansas where I'm at too. They're just down in Little Rock where the capital is. I'm more in Northeast Arkansas, closer to Memphis, Tennessee.
Right.
So what do we do, Peter? How do we get comics into kids' grubby little hands so that they can experience the wonder of comics and have a similar experience that you and I did? Because I remember not only the spinner racks, but the giant treasury editions, the little digest. I loved all that.
Yeah, my first interaction with comic books was actually at my local barber.
Really? Okay.
My local barber had magazines for all the adults and newspapers and whatnot, but
and
also had a stack of comics.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it was like Archie comics and Richie Rich, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And shortly after that, I had a local comic store open up not too far from where my barber was. And so that was my experience, in my neighborhood. There was no spinner rack places in my neighborhood.
Which is surprising.
But I remember
you grew up in Brooklyn, didn't you? Brooklyn, New York?
Yeah, I grew up in Brooklyn. So I was Flatbush area.
Okay.
Yeah. But I went into Manhattan a lot and I saw plenty of spinner rackets there. And, they had stores back in the day where it was every newspaper that came out, every magazine that came out, and that was a store, and they also had comics. So that was pretty cool back in the day. There's not as many newspapers or not as many magazines now, but there's still plenty. you know, and I heard, you know, I don't know who was trying to head it up. I heard that they were
Hey,
trying to get
Margo.
in the Dollar Tree store, Dollar General, all those things.
Yeah, that
Um,
would be awesome. I
I
would
think
love to see stuff like that.
yeah, I think that's a great idea because those places are all over the place.
Yeah, and a lot of kids
Here we
go
go.
in
We
there,
got
things are
Margo in the
cheap,
chat.
you know, buy the cheap toys and everything. Well, Peter, I wanna thank you for
Yeah.
having me on today. I see we've reached our time limit. So, you know,
Yeah,
I really
yeah. Thank you
appreciate
so
you
much for
having me
coming on.
on.
You showed off a ton of stuff.
Well,
If anybody
I know you
didn't
wanted to have me on
check
like
it
the week
all,
after you had Vic on, yeah, but I didn't have scans. I didn't have my artwork. It was over at the printers, and I would have just had to talk and try and visualize all that. There's just too much. I've got a whole big universe to show people, and so I hope they kind of try out the
yeah,
ASHCAN and get the supplement and say, hey, this is pretty good visuals. If nothing else, I have employed, I don't know, half a dozen artists, and I'm glad that you're going to be a part of it. Frankly, I'm honored that you
yeah,
would ink the wraparound cover with all the villains on the back and all the heroes on the front. I think it's going to be an awesome piece when you and Vic are done with it. I'm very
yeah.
honored that you
My
would take
pleasure,
that
man.
on.
Well, I'll get to sell it for $10,000 afterwards. You know.
Well, there you go. Hey, there you go.
But yeah, thanks for so much for coming on. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm gonna show my little intro. I'm gonna add to it and add some music, but it's quiet and short. But here
Okay.
we go.
Oh, that's
Everything
nice.
takes. There we go.
That's very nice. Was that brand new? Was that a
Yeah,
brand
so
new
that's
intro?
brand new.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like my sort
wonderful.
of intro.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, do you work?
Yeah.
Did you work digitally? Don't you?
No,
No.
it was a template. It was a
Okay.
template. I don't know computer. You know,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
wonderful.
too
That
much
was really
how to set
nice.
that stuff up. But you're back, kitty cat. It was all up
Well,
in my face. I got to get me food. I got to get them food. Even though it's early.
yeah.
What do you want to eat right now? You eat twice a day, cat.
Yeah, I have my friend coming over from Tennessee. He's traveling now to meet me here at the house. So I
Yeah.
probably need to go in there and cook him something so he can have something when he gets here.
There you go. Well, to everybody who joined us in the chat, this was a lot of fun. There's a lot of links in the chat. You can go check out so many campaigns, and I'll make sure to throw all your links in the video description box down below. So yeah, till next time. I'll be back tomorrow with friends. I'll be streaming at 12
I'll be
p.m.
back.
And me
Terminator.
and
That
Rex
sounds awesome.
we'll be chatting. We'll be chatting
Absolutely.
and keep
Oh
in
yeah,
contact. Yeah.
you bet.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. And I'll see you again soon. Let me click this
Ciao.
button.